Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, now Wednesday, number 6 day for this number 7 month for this year 2022. My name na Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chief and the spokesman of the Ambazonian Governing Council, aka Sense Past King, una own countryman. The background noise na meeting for the people of Mbueni in the great state of Boyo. We are welcome for our daily podcast, a program where they bring una meaningful information, fact-based analysis for help we as we work for this road for our freedom, the independence of the former British Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia. Before we go for the program for today, the people them for Mbueni, the place where it hosts one of Ambazonian icon, General Arke. They are picking the Rangada, the one them from Douala, La République, Yaoundé, as well as Bamenda, for join the one the way they be run Mbueni before La République did one raid their village. Ambazonians will never lose an opportunity for lose an opportunity. Ambazonians they don't be confused not only by bad activism, also by misleaders or leaders who are actually missing in action. One of the things where they kill Ambazonia, I say, would we fight for become a free and democratic country where we go guarantee freedom of our citizens them, but yet would we fail for live as people them way they want na a free society. Every time an Ambazonian criticize another one, they will call them say na attack. Make you not criticize your brother. But at the same time, would we want fight for a country where you go be perfect, where you go be democratic. You know if you eat your apple and then you get them. We don't come outside for Ambazonia for explain them for our people them. Say the people them for Mbueni, the place where La République attack them recently, they do one commode General Nyi, the supreme commander of the forces them for inside Boyo, then launch a counter attack, killing 2 of La République, their terrorist military them, carry out another IED attack for see continue for compromise them, for send a message for them, me they not become venture for place where they no get control over. Since we put that message for outside, we'll be sure say no Ambazonian leader in over reach out for the community from Mbueni inside the great state of Boyo. Would I explain them? So we don't receive a letter from the community from Mbueni. They don't also address that letter for General Nyi. It forces them way to be coordinated by Chris Bongam. We know say them too they don't reach out for that community. But nobody in our pay time because people they feel say every time you the one criticize or for highlight something that because you get problem with the other person. We love General Arke, we love all Ambazonian fighters, irrespective of any politics we get them. We are all one. A loss of one is a loss of us all. And the effectiveness of one is good for us all. Every block must stand. The population now from Mbueni, they don't come, they don't gather a meeting, where that include all picking the from Mbueni, they don't go back since they begin that incident where they can gather for open road. The soldier them for Arke, then turn now beating by beating the civilian, they run away from their village, then go take shelter for neighboring villages them. They don't come back, they don't hold big meeting. It include all their traditional leaders and all population for Mbueni. They don't ask Arke for 2 things for you to continue for live in Mbueni. They say make it send gone for the next neighboring Kamzem, where they get La Republic place for day and we fighting they go on. Because it don't overstay for inside a village, where their village na a liberated area, you no get no presence of La Republic. Na a refuge village, Mbueni don't always been a place where people that they run war go hide for day. So they don't talk say, okay, you know, if they stay again for day, it work out gone. Where other fighter and they for other side, they do one fight, they no get gone. Secondly, the talk say Aruke must explain why each time La Republic did come for Mbueni, he to the run the same like the civilian them. If you know if it demonstrate capability for protect itself or for defend the village, then he need for leave the village. It be very sad as we talk because no follow up in over go on. The people from Mbueni, na patriot them, na Ambazonians them, where they don't always stand for our flag. They don't always stand around our people. They don't celebrate our national day en masse. They don't always do community things them for support Ambazonia and for reject any attempt by the so-called CPDM occultic elites them for try for undermine Ambazonian projection for their community. Ambazonians they need for ask the so-called people where they call themselves leaders. If you cannot solve a problem like this in Mbueni, if you cannot talk to the people of Mbueni, if you cannot talk to the people of Akwaya, the people of Mavas, the people of Mesaka Eko, if you cannot talk to the people in Bameseng, if you cannot talk to the soldiers in Bameseng and Babanki, if you are not even aware of the problems that are going on in Okitunja, in our community in Womb, if you are not aware of the pain that goes on in our people in Lower Banyang and across Ambazonia, why do you call yourself a leader? A leader is not only to speak on social media and have opinion about things. A leader's job is not only to do diplomacy. A leader's job is to take the lead on things that matters in the day-to-day life in our people. We need to stop the era where people they fight for be leader by fighting to belong to a group or to get position in a group or to get conferences where they can vote themselves into relevant or carry names of organization that means nothing to our people on the ground. The problems in Mbueni is a reminder of how disconnected some Ambazonian factions have become. If you don't know what is happening in Mbueni, if you have never reached out to the community in Mbueni, if you don't know what is going on in Babanki, in Bameseng, if you have never reached out to the community in Akwaya, if you have not even discussed this matter in your cabinet, because when we ask around, we know the people who have taken interest, the leaders who have even shown interest, or the ones who have even responded, then you have no reason to call yourself a leader. We have called our people and called upon the IG care in particular of the issues that are happening in Manu, because the forces in Manu, their mindset is Seseko belongs to Manu, Manu belongs to Seseko, they pay their allegiance to Seseko. The IG care we know have no responsibility over them. They have no control and command over these forces, but the forces are claiming and they believe they are fighting for the IG care. The forces in Manu, who have gathered themselves and they call themselves the Unity Forces in Manu, have killed over 80 Ambazonian civilians, women, children, elderly citizens, despite the numerous call and conversation to the IG care and the promises of action. Nothing have been said so far. The population in Manu have been waiting so far. If we do not have communication with our people, if we are not engaged, then we have no business in ground zero. We become useless. If you think they kill over 80 people, human beings in Manu, by our own Ambazonian fighters, and you think that this struggle will succeed if you stay quiet, if you are mute, or you don't even take interest, or your own idea is for us to cover up and behave like there is nothing happening in our country, or to take the shortcut and just come and lie that it is La Republic and Atanganjipo who have been killing our people, then you are lost. Then your intention, your stated intention to fight for the people is a lie. If you don't care for the people when they lost their life, even under our own hands, then you cannot say you care for them when they die in the hands of La Republic. Shame on us. Shame on us. We pray God that General Arike, who have done so much for our country, should come out of this even strong and be able to serve his country even much better. We hope that he found peace with the people of Mbueni. We have continued to advise the youth leaders, the church leaders, and the traditional council in Mbueni. No matter the decisions they have sit down to take, they should know that General Arike is somebody, an icon in Ambazonia, irrespective of his politics. And we call on them to give him room in their country, in their village, in their district, so that he can continue to evolve, to become better. We have seen soldiers that Ambazonians in the diaspora have called for them to be killed simply because they have made one or two mistakes. Today, they have shown Ambazonia that they can also do something positive when they get the right response from us as a people. We cannot judge any fighter. We can only tell them to live according to our code of conduct, because that is good for them and is good for the country. The rest is up to them. But when issue comes up and you talk about it and people get the wrong impression and they think you are attacking A or B, of course we will have differences. Those differences benefit our population because it makes us to expose what has been hidden. It is only those hidden things that can destroy us, not the things that we speak about publicly. We should use those opportunities to address issues in our country. I want to thank Chris Bongam for his leadership in Boyo, in Mbueni in particular, to make sure that things do not go the way that the enemy can take advantage of. But it should be handled in a way that will be resolved peacefully and secure that block. Fellow Ambazonians, today I want to talk for now about the big diplomatic mission where the Ambazonian Governing Council take part for inside Washington, D.C. a couple of days ago. The PS, the press secretary of the presidency of the Ambazonian Governing Council, Mr. Lucas Asu, he then represents the Ambazonian Governing Council in representing the interests of our state in Washington, D.C. in a meeting where will be organized and facilitated by the Ambazonian NGO, the CDN. The CDN, that the NGO will be helped for invite Ambazonians, leaders and community leaders, civil society, church leaders in the meeting where we take place for inside Canada last year.
It be select me, make a travel for go for Washington, D.C. Yes, for go for Washington, D.C. The United States government, it be don't call for a very important meeting. And they be called me, make I go represent the Ambazonian people them. They be called me, make I go represent our state. They be called me for meet up with the United States government officials. And so today one can give an update of that meeting. Most of the discussion for that meeting, they be very highly classified. So I'm not going to go into the details of classified, but I'm not going to go into the details of anything will be classified. I go only give the outlook and what the meeting will be all about, all right? Because a lot of things the way not only the leader fit talk of outside and all fit talk of outside, but the leader the office don't permit me make a give for people them an update. The various powerhouse within the United States government would be present. All right, so it's been one of the most important meetings. The meeting for Washington with the U.S. government officials, it began two primary objectives. Number one, now for present a unified position and for present a unified leadership for Ambazonia. So now one and the same thing. For present a unified position from a unified Ambazonian leadership. And the first thing that. Number two, now for go make a specific demand through that unified voice to the United States government, to the United States, to the highest level of government of the officials them for the United States directly.
So this one, it been a very big meeting. Mr. Lucas Asu, the PS, he then returned back for a base for Canada. And this one a wonderful opportunity, not just for this diplomacy, but an opportunity for Ambazonian leaders them to come together and their representatives them for meet each other face to face, and it then demonstrate for the war say Ambazonia them being a one. The end of infighting it don't come. There is no more infighting, and the fact say our leaders they meet up, and for sure the United States government, so if we speak in one, it speak volumes. Some of the people the way they be in attendance, where they be attend that meeting, it be the consortium head John Akoro, the APLM of Ebenezer Akwanga. They be there for they represented by Ebenezer Akwanga himself, John Akoro himself. You also get the representative of the IG Care, where be represented by Mr. Ichu, and then you get Mr. Lucas Asu, who represent the Ambazonia Governing Councils, and Kumita Evis for the SCNC. Even though the content for the meeting, the location for the meeting, and the various representatives for the United States government where they meet up, it be classified. One of the biggest thing we'll learn for the reaction for those Ambazonia, for those American officials them. We don't learn say the American approach for Ambazonia it be tainted by some Ambazonian leader them, or call them misleader them, where they be spend their time for harass American, their officials, their State Department officials, their lawmaker them, not before put pressure self for them for address Ambazonian issue, but for talking at them. Not only them where they supposed to talk for them, for discredit each other, and it will make the land it will be very messy, and it will then disturb a lot of things them. This one, it remind me even the time where the governing council will be register Ambazonia for inside the UNPO. We will get Ambazonian leader the way they will go for that place for go talk say no be this one supposed to be for day. Now this one supposed to be for here. Instead for be a keen advocate for Ambazonians, Ambazonian leaders them or some groups them, they don't bring a lot of repair, they don't destroy a lot of things by trying to claim this exclusive power. But today we'll be very happy for see all the major groups them, they don't be able to gather together, speak with one voice at the toppest level for American government, and make specific demands, and the response for those and for the American government it will just be too fantastic.
United States government officials for harass the staff of United States government officials, for harass the staff of members of Congress, for harass the staff of members of the Senate, for harass the staff of the State Department, for harass even the Congress people then. It will be very surprising. And when I know the people know how they talk about, where they take information, you know fit win the hearts and minds of the United States government by harassing its officials, by intimidating officials of the United States government, officials of the Senate, officials of the Congress, officials of the State Department. So a lot of Ambazonians, the one where they make too much loud noise, where they think say through intimidation, they go intimidate these people then for listening to Ambazonia. So it creates a very bad impression on who will be, and they no go look and say now a specific group. They go take them all, put them for Ambazonian people their head. And so a lot of those things, they be cause a lot of problems within our liberation struggle. So waiting this meeting will take place for Washington, they do one of the things where he accomplished that for clean all that bad image where they don't paint them about Ambazonia. And a lot of these people that they do this thing, that they do them deliberately, they do them as an act of sabotage to give a bad name for a liberation struggle, as they don't give a bad name for all team. They don't give a bad name in terms of the character, in terms of content, in terms of substance, in terms of personality, in terms of trust. These people don't give a very bad name, and they give a very bad name for the Ambazonian people then diplomatically. Fortunately, we will be able to clean that image with these people. They don't spoil one name, they don't spoil the name of Ambazonia, we will be able to present the type of leadership with the United States government officials. They will be very proud. I will tell when I say, by the end of that meeting, the U.S. government officials, they will be very proud of the quality of men and women, the quality of our presentation. They will be very proud and they will be very happy for see that quality of leadership, for see that kind of level of leadership organization. But the most important thing we need to tell you now, the government of the United States, it will be very happy for see what people then will come together, will come as one. Not be divided, not be many movements, will come as one. And so I be represent the governing council of Ambazonia.
So that was the good news. And I want to take opportunity for saying that the same thing even for communication. Top journalists them, for Western media them, where they don't interview me, they don't be attacked, they don't receive email threatening them for simply interviewing me. And most of the time, these journalists, they just follow the events on the ground, then follow how consequential the voices of Ambazonians are, and they make their choices as they have the right to do, to who to talk to. And if they talk to me in my capacity as an official of the governing council, I respond to them. And if some other Ambazonians, they wish they could play the role I was playing, the solution is not to go and attack people and threaten people and tell them who you are and who I am not, or who I am, and all those things. These people, they do their homework. When the World Bank report made their report, it was not out of a thin air or out of gossip or listening to Ambazonia or following social media. They have their actors, they have researchers on the ground. They have the intelligent method of gathering information to know who to talk to and who not to talk to. So Ambazonians should be happy that for the first time we have seen our leaders being able to represent our interests, the interests of our state and our liberation movement in a unified manner, in a well-articulate manner in front of this big United States of America, one of the most consequential diplomatic countries, especially when it comes to countries having their independence. God bless you all. Capo Daniel, signing off.